the chicken thing on the doorstep. Bobby Wright began getting bizarre phone calls on a Wednesday around 9 p.m. This was after he had eaten chicken in a variety of ways for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for a full week without realizing it.
"Hello?"
Bobby said, and when the caller on the line was silent,
"Who is this, please?"
"Hello, chicken breath."
"Excuse me?"
Bobby said, thinking it was someone pranking him again. "You have eaten chicken thrice daily for half a fortnight."
"Who is this, and why are you talking like that?"
But our friend Bobby realized that he had indeed eaten chicken 3 times a day, and he used context clues to figure out that a fortnight was 2 weeks. The caller replied in a dreamy, almost sing-song cadence. "I have glimpsed vistas hitherto undiscovered by man, realms of cyclopean structures presided over by great winged beasts, beaks and feathers monstrous in size and shape, red combs and wattles miles long, chicken thighs thicker than buildings thick, the eyes of old Cluckoth oozing with an intellect and malice beyond comprehension, ageless gigantic chicken scratchings etched in stone."
"I'm hanging up."
Bobby Wright hung up and went back to watching TV. As he was watching the sitcom Friends, however, and Rachel and Joey were arguing about who put the human head in the freezer, it dawned on Bobby that he recognized the voice of the caller. It had to have been his old roommate from college, Frederick Bartleby, who, to Bobby's knowledge, had gone on to become a successful ornithologist, specializing in chickens. But why was Frederick calling now, and how had he known about all the chicken he'd eaten? The next calls he received from Frederick were not in human language, but more closely resembled the sounds that chickens make. "Bucoo! Bucoo!"
"Fred, why are you doing this?"
Bobby said at one point.
"We used to be friends. How did you know I ate so much chicken this week?"
After midnight, there was a knock at the door. Bobby opened the door to find a large figure there, corpulent, covered in a trench coat, scarves and large hat so that nothing could be seen. The figure handed him a note, and when Bobby grasped it with shaking hands, he found the handwriting to resemble chicken scratch, but was otherwise readable English. It read, "You guessed right. I'm your old pal from college. It's me, Freddy boy. I was studying some old bird bones in some old ruins built by a cult of an old chicken god when I spilled my chicken nuggies, and, uh-oh, it opened up some kind of third-eye beak. I could see and smell many things on Earth and beyond, especially if it related to eating too much chicken. Well, you're probably going to be visited by some transcendental chicken beings soon. Peace out. Gotta collapse in a puddle now." And sure enough, as soon as Bobby finished reading the note, his old pal from college collapsed in a greasy puddle. The clothes sagged over the amorphous blob, and Bobby shrieked for a full minute, air ripping through his lungs and throat, before running inside and bolting the door. And when the coroner's office examined the mass later, they did identify the remains as having been Frederick Bartleby's body. But inside the putrescent, hideous mass, they found some strange items, such as a chicken-like skull the size of a human head.
The chickens in the walls. The heir to a vast fried chicken restaurant corporation, one Timothy Lysanders Esquire III, inherited the Fried Chicken Corporation, along with an ancient mansion in Europe. Can I just say, that mansion was like a castle. So Timothy starts to settle into this fancy European mansion of his. The inside's all newly renovated. It even had indoor plumbing. When lo and behold, he starts to hear a flurrying and pecking and scratching within the walls. "There are chickens in the walls," Timothy cries to his servants. But his servants look at him as if he's gone mad, for they hear nothing but the wind howling through the valley below. Oh, that's the wind. But the servants begin to have their imaginations impressed, okay, when some foxes start digging at the foundations of the walls outside. Lots and lots of foxes come from all over the countryside to dig near those walls as if it's some big party they got an invite to. Welp, as they dig, the walls begin to crumble, and Timothy falls right out of his bed and on his face with an oof. Oof! From out those crumbled walls issue forth an immense stampede of clucking, befouled, filth-damp chickens, clucking with phlegm-clogged throats and carrying on like some kind of berserking demon spawn. The train of that unholy procession is a mile or two long, or, for the Europeans, a certain number of kilometers. The horde of chickens that had spilled from those aged, crumbled walls devours all in its path. It takes out crops, it takes out cattle, and it even sets to work on the buildings and villagers of a nearby village. It goes on straight to the coast and begins swimming across the Atlantic Ocean. Legend has it that enormous procession of winged beasts is swimming to America, where the headquarters of that fried chicken empire is seated. Meanwhile, dear Timothy, crudely dispossessed of his castellated mansion, finds a crevice in the mansion's foundations. He puts some dynamite to that crevice, all right, and with a team of archaeologists discovers and explores the profane subterranean depths of an ancient temple dedicated to the old chicken god, Cluckulu. It was in those depths that Timothy Lysanders Esquire III, last scion of a massive fried chicken empire, vanished and was never seen by human eye again. The end.
That's good.